Hey everybody, it's Tammy from Soot Salt. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to do a VR video to the hashtag #MyCozyDecks. So my cozy deck number one, I think we're gonna see a lot in these videos because I mean, I think it's the coziest, and that is the Gentle Tarot. So I bought the first edition. I've had this for a long time. I've spent a lot of time with it. It's what made me fall in love with it. But I do sometimes have a hard time with the cardstock. I'm not really sure why, because it's actually a very durable, beautiful cardstock. But I don't know, sometimes I just have issues with it. So I ended up getting this linen, and this right here was a big game changer for me. And I really enjoy shuffling it. I really enjoy um, spending time with it. Because it is the lower price point, I tend to do a lot more of my wear and tear on this deck. And I've kind of, put this one off to the side, and I tend to only use it during special occasions. Everyone's seen this one a million times. I mean, this is, I swear, one of the best, coziest, beautiful decks. And I think like a lot of it has to do with the creator and her energy and just how beautiful of a person she is. And you can feel that energy like right into this. It just radiates out of every single one of her decks, every single one of these gentle tarots. And like you gotta think, like, how many of these has she printed? And yet that beautiful, gorgeous energy that she brings, that is her personality, is in all of them. Like, how amazing is that, right? So the Gentle Tarot, I mean, yeah, like I said, I think we're going to be seeing this a lot in anyone who does these videos. It's a great deck. It's it's gentle, it's cozy, it's the color palette, the animals, the way it's drawn, everything's soft about it. Even the way it delivers its messages is soft. I don't know. I can't say enough good about this deck, honestly. And I feel every single video I've watched that has had this deck in it, they all say the same thing. It's just so wonderful. And the energy of the creator is so pure and beautiful. And it's in every single one of these cards and every single one of the decks. And it's amazing. It's even in the more serious cards, like even in the cards that have, a little bit more of a serious message behind them, there's still always rainbows. And I think that that's just amazing. And I mean, sometimes I'm really quite lost with words with this deck because it's just so wonderful. It's a great one. And I think it's one that will be enjoyed through generations. I very much feel that this is a staple in the tarot world. I don't know. I love it very much. I feel so comfy, so cozy. It's so inviting. It's warm, and the flowers and the animals and the people, and it's so wonderful. So this is my first cozy deck, and that is the Gentle Tarot. So cozy deck number two is my Forhexa. Honestly, this, just like I've said it in previous videos, it lives next to my bed, and I always forget to bring it into these videos because it's in a completely different area of the house, and I never remember it. And it is probably one of my most comfiest, coziest go-to decks for every problem, every situation. I just adore it. I adore this deck. I know there's some cards in here that trigger people. I know there's some spider cards and some snake cards and stuff like that that freaks people out, but I still find so much comfort in this deck. The book is amazing. I mean, MJ's decks are fantastic, right? Like, how can you even argue it? And her write-ups, especially in this book, are amazing. The words that she puts behind each one of these cards, it's just fabulous. I love every reading I do with this deck. I absolutely love it. And the funny thing is I'm never even drawn to Fade X. I have maybe 3 or 4 in my collection. I just, they're not, I don't know. I very seldomly feel the need to have Fae energy. And if I do want to bring Fae energy in, it's usually during the spring, right? So I have a couple. So when the Phahexa first came out, I was so drawn to it, and I was like, no, I don't really use fairy decks. I don't really need it. I have a couple in my collection. So I kept skipping on it. And then finally, after like it seemed like forever, but I'm sure it was only a couple weeks, I was like, fine, I'm buying it. And I bought it, and I don't regret it because I bonded extremely close with this deck. I find this deck so comforting from the color palette to the images to the like it's I find it very grounding and just the way it's been drawn and the artwork and I don't know. I love it. I love this deck. I'm so happy that it's coming to mass market now. I think it's a fantastic one that I think a lot of people should enjoy. I think when it stays with when it stays being an indie deck, I feel that it just doesn't get spread as far always, right? Obviously there's some out there like the Gentle Tarot that's I swear to God, people who don't even collect tarot or even like tarot have the Gentle Tarot or have heard of the Gentle Tarot. But decks like this, though, I feel like once a big mass market producer picks it up, like Hay House, or US Games or Rockpool, they get bought up more, right? They have a farther reach. And this is a deck that is quite amazing, and I'm glad she's putting it into mass market. This is the indie edition, obviously. Um, and I'm not really sure how she'll change it, but hopefully not too much because this is just such a wonderful deck and I find it so comforting and cozy. Like literally this card right here is one of my most favorite cards in the deck and like look at how comfy and cozy she looks up there on that top of that mountain. Like it's just wonderful. I don't know. I love this deck. I know that there's a couple in here that trigger people. That one spider card where the girl's all wrapped up in the webs. But at the end of the day, it's such a great deck. And I don't know. I love it. It's so cozy. It's one of my favorites. It is like the cozy deck. I feel like this is like curling up with a hot cocoa and a warm blanket. And that is my second cozy deck, the for Hexa. So my third cozy deck is this one, the Spacious Tarot. I think it's the imagery and I think it's the color palette in this deck. It is so soft. It's pastel-y. I don't know. I love the Spacious Tarot and I don't really see it on very many things anymore. And it's such a great deck. I absolutely love this one. It's one of my favorites, honestly. And like, look at like it's so there's something so comforting about it and so like there's just an openness in it. There's no people. So it's like going for a long nature hike all by yourself. And yeah, I think it's the color palette, to tell you honest to God truth. It's like these soft colors. And the fact, like I just said, there's no people. And it's just like these scenes of beautiful fields and pastures and forests. It's amazing. It's such a great deck. I really enjoy my reads from this. I feel like this is so cozy and comforting and just has lovely messages. I keep meaning to buy the expansion pack that she has come out with very recently, and I haven't had the opportunity to grab it yet. I love its guidebook. I feel like this is probably one of my more favorite hermit cards. Like there's certain cards that I like look at and I'm like, okay, when I buy a deck, like it's got to have a good death card, it's got to have a good hermit. I check out the star and the high priestess. I feel like those are like they have to be phenomenal in a deck or I might just like pass them up. I don't know why, don't ask me, but like those are like my like key cards that have to look real good. I'm like, look at how wonderful this is as an Ace of Pentacles. It's just great. But I think it's like the natureness of this, like feeling like you're going on a nature hike, like I said, that I feel is so comforting about this and just getting out and getting fresh air. Love this moon card. Like amazing. There are some really, really strong images in this deck. I don't know. Love it. So that is my third cozy deck, and that is the Spacious Tarot. My fourth cozy deck is the Dreaming Way Tarot. Now, the Dreaming Way Tarot hasn't been in my collection for very long, but there was something about it that really resonated with me, and I I don't know what it is. I like the greenness of all the cards. Like a lot of the cards have a lot of um like a lot of vibrant beautiful greens and reds in them, and I really like that about it. And like the swords cards, there are some really good winter images. Like you can just feel the coldness in them. Like yeah, they're great. And the funny thing is the booklet is really super simple, right? But there's some information in the deck, or sorry, in the book that is phenomenal. Just the way he's worded some things and just the way he said some stuff. It's I don't know, it really just resonated with me. I like the way he explains the royals, like the court cards. I like the way he explained those in the book. I also like the way he explains the book is right here. Let me grab it. I like the numerology that he puts with all of it. I think that's really cool. But it was how he explains how he thinks the reversed cards read. And I thought it was really interesting, this concept. So there's some great ideas in this little tiny book. And I don't know, that like the clothes are weird, but these characters and these cards just they do such a good job depicting things and telling a story and giving you direction or guidance. And I feel like there's just like this image right here, like this long scarf that's wrapped around. I'm like, how cozy looking, right? Like there's something about the green. The green I find really cozy. And I don't know, there's just a coziness to this deck. I tend to use this deck usually during the spring, sometimes into the summer, but usually late winter, early spring. But honestly, I find myself going to it throughout the year. Like, I find it being a heavy user, to tell you the truth. I actually really enjoy my time with it. This was a deck that I bought and I wasn't 100% sure on. And then it got here and it's made itself very comfortable and known in my collection. And I'm very, very happy that I bought it and I brought it in. And I find it really cozy. And I find it once again kind of like the Spacious Tarot, where there's that green, like that nature, lush feeling to the cards, right? So that is my fourth cozy deck, and that is the Dreaming Way Tarot. Now, deck number 5 is where I'm going to start to get into my oracles. And this one right here, Seasons of the Witch, the Yule Oracle, I find this is very, very cozy and comfortable. And I think it's just because it's the feeling of the Yuletide, right? That season of coming together and being with family and friends and gatherings, right? So I don't I definitely really feel that resonating from these cards. Now the funny thing is I actually really honestly only use these cards during the winter. They get put away for the rest of the year. I believe that's what the creator was meaning to happen, right? With the fact that she's created all of these decks for, to suit the wheel of the year. And I find these images very cozy and very comforting. I haven't gotten my hands on the other ones yet. I've been eyeballing the new one coming out, Mabon, right? Like that looks pretty sweet, but I haven't gotten the other two. I have Samhain and Yule, but there's something in particular about this deck that gives me that warm, comfortable, inviting atmosphere. And I mean, it makes sense, right? Because it's that time of year. It obviously has that energy to it. These are great decks. I really enjoy them. I do wish that she put the keywords down here and not the poem. I wish like she left the poem in the book. I feel that they would be more useful that way, at least for what I do and my practice. But still, they're great cards and I do enjoy my time with them and I do enjoy my readings with them. But I feel like there's just something so cozy, like curling up in front of a fireplace on a cold winter's night with this deck. It has that feeling, right? Like that feasting. Like yeah, this is such a cozy deck. And I really, really do enjoy my time with it when it becomes that time of year to pull this out and start using it. Definitely a cozy oracle. And that is Seasons of the Witch, Yule Oracle. So last but not least is cozy deck number 6, and that is Into the Lonely Woods. I mean, look at these lovely, furry, warm looking creatures. Like, yeah, like like cuddling up with a huge, giant, oversized stuffed animal, right? They're wonderful. Like, this is such a great deck. I really enjoy my time with it. It's so cozy and warm and friendly and inviting. These creatures are just, they're great. There's so much comfort and comfiness to them. It's a great oracle. And it really honestly surprised me. When I got it, I wasn't expecting for the book to be so like speak so much of of like witchcraft and witch based, and it really surprised me because I was not expecting that at all from this deck. And it surprised me how much that, way of life was referred to in these cards, in the book, right? Like it surprised me. I wasn't expecting it. I didn't think it was going to be so pagan based, and like wonderfully surprised me. So yeah, like I was just like, whoa, when I started reading it, and I was like, that's really interesting. And I mean, tons of owls. How can we not love the owls? I love owls so much. And even the cards have this like comfy, cozy feel to them and look to them. It's a great deck, honestly. It's wonderful. I think this is like one of my favorite cards, to tell you the truth. There's quite a few in this. There's a lot that I'm like, oh, but I mean, I love this drawing of this owl. Like, look at how cozy and soft he looks. Like, just wonderful. So I really honestly feel like this is probably one of the coziest ones in oracles, anyways, that I have in my collection. They're just, it's such a wonderful oracle. They're so cute. I really like the reads that I get from it too. My last cozy deck is Into the Lonely Woods. These were the decks that I picked out of my collection that I felt gave that the best cozy, comfy feeling, right? I do obviously have more decks in my collection, like the Sassarabito and the Aquarian and Morgan Greer, that just give that really comfy, cozy feel as well too. Those felt cozy because I'm comfortable using them. They're kind of like putting on a pair of comfy old slippers or shoes, right? These ones, though, gave me the feeling of comfort and comfy, as in energy or atmosphere that they bring. And that's why I've chose these ones. So hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, like, subscribe, all that wonderful stuff. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.